Right, so we're going to continue on, and in this video, what we'll be discussing is absolute values. The first thing we're going to do is absolute value equations. And so there's two different things that can happen, right? First, let's discuss this right here. This is the actual formal definition of the absolute value, and it's known as a piecewise function. And what it says is we're going to take the inside of the absolute value, which is going to be the x, and it's going to be just itself if the x value is greater than or equal to 0. So let me actually write the absolute value back. If the inside of the absolute value is negative, then what we're going to do is we're going to put a negative in front of the x value. So notice that what this is really doing is, for example, this, where x is greater than 0 because x is 5, what we get is just the number itself, so the 5. However, if x is less than 0, for example, negative 5, then what we need to do is take the number on the inside, which is this, and then put a minus in front. So this gives you 5. So the reason why we explain this is to show you that the thing that you did in high school or previously in another math class, where you just say get rid of the absolute value or get rid of the negative, that's not true. There is a reason for why you get rid of the negative sign. It's because the negatives cancel and all you're left with is 5. Let's reference that with what you did in high school, which is the distance away from 0. So if you guys learn this as the distance away from 0, you can also see that, for example, that negative 5 here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from 0, and 5 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from 0. So what that tells you is the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, and the absolute value of 5 is 5 as well. So let's do a simple example with 3x plus 9, 3x absolute value equals 9. Now, what I like to do, and the reason why we're going to do it this way is because in the next section, it's actually a very useful tool to get rid of a very common error. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the definition of the absolute value function instead. And what this does, it says, take the inside and then take the negative the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this equation into two parts. The part with just the inside, which is this one, and then negative the inside. And write two equations. So again, that's just the inside. And then solve them separately like you would something we did in chapter 2 or chapter 3. Divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 3. And divide both sides by negative 3 to give you x is equal to negative 3. And these are your two solutions.